Welcome back to day 2 of the Pebble a Day journal prompting, and today's prompt is from the kitchen. And so I've got a few things. You just saw me lift up some red, a little puddle of watercolour paint that I made actually out of resources from the kitchen and some pigment from France. And you also saw me put to one side a little roll of cling film. That's the main thing that I'm using today that's from the kitchen. And a return to the joyful colour of Payne's Grey. I've got a Payne's Grey acrylic ink. That there is my, it's actually pink, but quite red as well, from a homemade watercolour. I'll be doing some classes on that in my barn later on in the year, so if you fancy that, pop a comment below. And so today is continuing a pursuit for a really simple, calm exercise every day to create a pebble all the way through January. And I think for me, pebbles are so utterly unique and bashed around on the shores. So it's a lovely thing to kind of play with. So I put down some water. You saw me put down a circle of water, the pebble shape, and then I've just used that Payne's Grey acrylic ink just to pop some ink onto that puddle of water that's already there, and it will expand and grow and do its own thing. This is the that pinky colour, and in a minute you're going to see me use some bronze as well. And intermittently you will see me just lay my paintbrush down in the bottom left corner and just pick up some of the reservoir of paint. It's really easy, of course, to go and get a bit of kitchen roll or tissue paper and dab up excess paint, but actually I'm really trying to slow things down and needing to do that consciously. So removing the paint, just using my brush like I am now, a bit like you would a mop on a floor, really, just picking up some of that excess water. So yeah, I was talking about the pebbles that you pick up from the shore, and them all being different and chipped around, and I think sometimes we can get a bit like that, a bit, all of us individual, unique human beings having been rolled around on the shore of life every now and then, and really being able to observe that each beautiful one is lovely and unique and just meant to be as it is. So yeah, that's a few thoughts for today. So one thing I would say, lots of people on the Facebook community, by the way, please do join us. I'll put the link in the description below. Lots of Facebook people are asking me how I've made my journal. I haven't done this as a journal creating exercise, but to put it mildly, I got a huge piece of A2 paper, stripped it down into 4 strips, concertinaed them, glued them, so glued the concertinas, and then just put a cover over it. And that has created a journal that has about 32 pages, I think. But any journal will do for this. You just need something with watercolour paper in it, because we're going to be, well, I'm going to be using lots of mediums. So if you've not come to watch these videos from Facebook, please do join the group. The prompts are all in there for this month's prompt a day. So here's the fun bit. Get your bit of cling film and place it down and sort of thoughtfully crinkle it up. This is a really beautiful technique if you're ever doing a slightly bigger piece of watercolour. It's really lovely to add a bit of texture in like this. So you can see they're just adding some wrinkles and crinkles, and you want to put that on when the paint or ink is wet. You don't want to put this on when it's dry. The whole idea is that you put it on wet, and the cling film is going to sort of stick to that wet paint. And then once you've got it on with a few crinkles, you can add some more paint, some acrylic ink I'm putting here. So don't lift the whole cling film up, just one little corner, and then lift your page up and it sort of will run in between where those creases are. And the effect, which you'll see when it's dry, is like a stained glass window. It's really beautiful. And again, using this Payne's grey means I get the separation of the Payne's grey colours, so the greens and the blues and the blacks, the greys, and all those colours underneath. It does need to dry properly. As with all of these exercises, I'm choosing to let it dry naturally as much as possible. So yeah, let it dry naturally. I put mine on a radiator, and then as if by magic, the power of cutting and pasting. So you can see there as it is revealed. I love this. It reminds me of quite often when you're beachcombing, you might find a pebble that it has gathered other pebbles to it somehow and then smoothed over in the waves to the point where it becomes this multicoloured stone of many. And when I lifted my cling film off, some paint had leaked out under it, and so I've ended up not quite getting a smooth round pebble. So I'm just going to add some of my Payne's grey, almost to create a shadow around one area. And then I'm going to add some charcoal to the outside of it, and just using the heat of my finger to soften the charcoal. And then just a few mark making pieces with a white pen, again like yesterday, just adding a little bit of contrast to this little piece of art. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll be back tomorrow with day 3. Do come and join us on the Facebook group, and I'll see you there.